Welcome to MT Wisdom. Have you felt your body changing lately just a little but can't quite explain how or why? Maybe you're finding it harder to stand up, maybe food doesn't taste the same, or maybe you're more tired than usual. These small changes may seem like part of normal aging, but sometimes they mean more. Today I want to share 7 subtle but important signs that your body might be preparing for its final chapter. These aren't here to frighten you, but to give you clarity, comfort, and the power to make the most of the time you have. Stay with me to the end, because knowing these signs can help you live with more peace, dignity, and presence. Sign 1. Sudden mood swings or irritability. Sometimes the shift is emotional before it's physical. One day everything feels fine. The next you're crying unexpectedly or getting upset over something small. Sound familiar? Maria, 88, had always been known as a soft-spoken woman. But over a few months, her family watched her change. She'd yell about the television being too loud. Then she'd cry at random moments, unable to explain why. It didn't feel like her, and within 8 months, she passed away. Changes like this aren't unusual. And they aren't just in your head. According to American Association of Retired Persons and other leading health sources, sudden mood shifts or irritability in older adults can signal that the brain is under strain, often from lower oxygen levels, hormonal imbalance, or declining neurological function. These are changes that frequently occur in the final year of life, as the body redirects its energy to vital functions. You might find yourself feeling more sensitive, overwhelmed, or emotionally unpredictable. But this isn't a failure of willpower or character. It's your body asking for gentleness, and it's okay. If these shifts are new for you, try slowing down. Light a candle. Sit by a window and watch the trees. Listen to a favorite piece of music. These little rituals can settle the nervous system and soothe the emotions. And if your emotions ever feel too heavy to carry alone, speaking to a trusted doctor or therapist can make all the difference. Mood swings can feel scary, but they are also a quiet invitation to listen deeply, to give yourself grace, to notice what brings you calm, because you are not your anger. You are not your tears. You are not your irritability. You are still you. These feelings don't define you, they're simply your body asking for kindness. Sign 2. Unexplained muscle weakness or frequent falls. What starts as a subtle change like taking longer to stand up or needing to hold on to something while walking can quickly become a red flag. Anna, 85, once carried groceries effortlessly. One day she couldn't lift a loaf of bread. A few weeks later she fell in her kitchen. There were no objects in the way, no obvious reason. She passed 6 months after. Her story isn't rare. Many older adults experience a steep decline in muscle strength and balance during their final year of life, and it often happens faster than people expect. According to a 2023 study published in the Journals of Gerontology, this accelerated muscle loss, also known as sarcopenia, is a common physiological marker of late-stage aging. It doesn't just affect mobility. It impacts independence, safety, and overall resilience. It's easy to brush it off. I'm just tired today, or I haven't been moving much lately. But there's a key difference between occasional fatigue and progressive weakness. So how can you tell if your strength is truly changing? Start with the basics. Can you stand up from a chair without using your hands for support? Do your legs feel shaky or uncertain when you rise? How about your grip? Can you open jars or hold grocery bags like you used to? These daily movements reveal more than you might think. Even if the changes feel small now, they deserve attention. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury in older adults and one of the most preventable. Installing grab bars in the bathroom, clearing loose rugs, and using a walker or cane when needed can make a world of difference. These aren't signs that you're giving in. They're signs that you're adapting, and that's strength. If exercise is still possible for you, focus on seated leg lifts, gentle stretching, or balance exercises by the kitchen counter. You don't need to push hard, you just need to move consistently and kindly. And remember, asking for help is not weakness. Accepting a steadying hand or leaning on a rail is not defeat. It's wisdom. Start slow, stay steady. There's strength in adjusting with grace. Sign 3. New sensitivity to temperature. It can feel puzzling at first. You're sitting in a room where everyone else seems fine, but you can't stop shivering. Or you find yourself sweating while others around you are reaching for blankets. Linda, 84, began to wear multiple sweaters even in July. She said she felt a chill in her bones. Then, by October, she was sweating profusely in mild weather. Her body was no longer responding the way it used to. She passed away within the year. What Linda experienced isn't just discomfort, it's a sign. In later life, the body begins redirecting energy and blood flow toward the most essential functions: the brain, the heart, the lungs. As a result, peripheral areas like your skin may receive less circulation, making it harder for your body to adjust to temperature changes. And it's not just the blood flow. The hypothalamus, your brain's internal thermostat, becomes less responsive with age. It may not signal properly when to sweat or when to conserve heat, especially in someone nearing the end of life. According to clinical interventions in aging, this inability to regulate temperature is more than just inconvenient. It's often a sign that the body is gradually conserving energy as part of its natural decline. That means feeling uncomfortably cold even in a warm room, or suddenly overheating when others around you feel fine, can be your body's way of quietly saying, "Please pay attention." If this has started happening more often, take it seriously. Keep layers of clothing nearby that are easy to put on or remove. Use breathable natural fabrics like cotton to avoid overheating. Avoid heating pads or electric blankets directly on your skin, as aging skin becomes thinner and more prone to burns. A hot water bottle wrapped in a towel or a microwavable heat pack is often safer and just as effective. Similarly, if you're sweating easily in cool temperatures, avoid heavy clothing or closed environments. Keep a fan nearby or crack open a window for airflow, especially at night. The goal here isn't to tough it out, it's to support your body's needs moment by moment. Because small acts of comfort, warm socks, a breeze, a light blanket, aren't just soothing. They are deeply healing, especially when the body is working harder than it used to. Comfort matters. Listen to your body, it knows what it needs. Sign 4: persistent dry skin or itching. Your skin tells a story, and sometimes that story includes changes you didn't expect. You may notice that no matter how much lotion you apply or how many times you change soaps, the itching continues. It's not just a seasonal thing. Your skin feels dry, paper thin, and sometimes even painful. Maybe it flakes, maybe it cracks. John, 79, experienced exactly that. He scratched his arms and legs constantly. His family thought it was due to dry winter air, but nothing worked, not moisturizers, not baths, not even prescription creams. 9 months later, John passed. What looked like a skin issue turned out to be something deeper. According to Mayo Clinic, persistent dry skin in older adults, especially when it doesn't improve with routine care, can be a sign of declining internal function. As we age, our oil glands become less active, especially in the final years. The skin produces fewer natural lipids, meaning it holds on to less moisture. Blood circulation also slows, reducing oxygen and nutrient delivery to skin tissues. That's why the skin may appear dull, fragile, or thin. But there's more. Underlying kidney or liver function can also influence skin health. These organs help filter toxins and balance minerals in the body. When they begin to falter, one of the earliest signs may be unexplained skin irritation, itching, or changes in texture. You can try this quick test: gently pinch the skin on the back of your hand. If it stays tented for a few seconds instead of snapping back into place, it could be a sign of dehydration, one of the most common causes of skin distress in older adults. Hydration is key, but not just through drinking water. Moisture also comes from your environment and what you apply to your skin. Stick with thick, fragrance-free creams that contain petrolatum, shea butter, or ceramides. Apply them right after bathing, when your skin is still slightly damp. That helps lock in moisture. And don't underestimate the power of comfort. Soft cotton clothing, avoiding hot showers, and staying away from harsh soaps can prevent further irritation. Sometimes it's the smallest changes that bring the biggest relief. Dry skin isn't always just dry skin. It may be your body speaking softly, asking for care and gentleness. It slows down. When your skin feels at ease, so does your spirit. You deserve that comfort. If you've been battling itchy, fragile skin that doesn't seem to heal, comment 3 below to let us know you're not alone. Sign 5. Needing more help with daily tasks. It rarely happens overnight. One day you're buttoning your shirt like usual. The next, your fingers feel stiff. The toothbrush is harder to grip. The remote doesn't feel filmier anymore, and you have to squint at the buttons a little longer. George, 86, always prided himself on his appearance. Then one morning, he realized he couldn't tie his laces. He switched to slip-ons. Soon after, his daughter began helping him with shaving. Eventually, he needed assistance bathing. 10 months later, George passed away. These daily tasks, what many of us consider second nature, often become the first things to change when the body enters its final stages. But here's the truth, this isn't about giving up. It's about the body and mind shifting focus. As energy reserves begin to decline, even routine movements can require more effort. The coordination between your brain and muscles becomes less efficient. It's not that you don't want to do the tasks, it's that your body is conserving energy for what matters most. This can feel frustrating or even embarrassing at first, but it's important to reframe what these moments mean. They are not losses of dignity, they are gentle reminders to adapt with kindness. Start by noticing the patterns. Are zippers harder to manage? Do you fumble when using utensils? Are you avoiding a task not because you forgot how, but because it now takes too much energy? Instead of pushing through, try this. Break tasks into smaller steps. Choose clothing with Velcro closures or elastic waistbands. Swap your standard toothbrush for an electric one with a thicker handle. Place a chair in the bathroom so you can sit while brushing your hair. And most importantly, accept help. From loved ones, from caregivers, even from a neighbor who offers a hand. Letting someone support you isn't weakness. It's an act of trust, and it allows you to preserve your energy for the moments that matter most. If you've noticed yourself hesitating over everyday tasks, that hesitation isn't failure. It's awareness, and awareness is a form of strength. Accepting help is an act of strength, not surrender. Sign 6. Trouble swallowing or choking on food. It may begin quietly, a little hesitation between bites, a soft cough after sipping tea, or the subtle act of chewing longer than usual. Eating, something once automatic and enjoyable, starts to feel uncertain. Tom, 82, once loved sitting down to a hearty meal. Thick cuts of meat were his favorite, but gradually he started avoiding harder foods. Soup became his go-to, then smoothies. In time, even water made him pause. He passed within 5 months. This progression is not uncommon, and it's not about losing interest in food, it's about the body finding swallowing more difficult than before. The process of swallowing involves more than just your throat, it's a delicate coordination between your mouth, tongue, throat muscles, and brain. In later life, especially in the body's final year, this coordination can begin to falter. The muscles used to chew and swallow may weaken. The signals from the brain to the throat may slow. Even the reflexes that protect your airway, like coughing, may not respond as quickly. This condition, known as dysphagia, affects millions of older adults, and it can lead to more serious complications if not addressed. One of the biggest risks is aspiration, when food or liquid goes down the wrong pipe and enters the lungs. This can cause pneumonia, which is especially dangerous in older adults with weaker immune systems. But there are ways to adapt. Begin by choosing softer foods, those that are easier to chew and safer to swallow. Think mashed potatoes, well-cooked rice, oatmeal, applesauce, yogurt, and smoothies. Avoid foods with mixed textures, like chunky soup with thin broth, as those are harder to control while swallowing. Always sit upright while eating, and remain seated for at least 30 minutes after. Take small bites, chew thoroughly, and don't rush. Try to avoid distractions like television during meals, as they can pull attention away from how your body is handling food. If you find that eating is becoming increasingly difficult, or if you're coughing or clearing your throat regularly while eating or drinking, talk to your doctor. You may be referred to a speech-language pathologist who can assess your swallowing ability and suggest safer techniques. Above all, know this: needing to adapt your meals is not a loss, it's an act of care. Your body is doing its best, and you can support it with every bite. Eating should bring comfort, not worry. Nourish yourself gently. If meals have become harder or you've had to change what you eat, consider sharing this video with a friend or loved one. Someone else might be quietly going through the same thing, and your care could make all the difference. Sign 7. Rapid vision or hearing decline. It starts subtly. You're straining to read a label you used to glance at easily. Voices around you begin to sound muffled. You ask people to repeat themselves more than once. The volume on the television creeps up, but clarity doesn't follow. Clara, 91, began noticing that everything seemed fuzzy even with her glasses. Her hearing aids didn't seem to help much anymore either. She stopped watching her favorite shows, not because she didn't enjoy them, but because she couldn't follow along. 7 months later, she passed away. Clara's story is not unusual. As we age, especially in the final year of life, our body begins conserving its resources. Blood circulation gradually slows, and the body naturally starts to focus on supporting the most vital organs, the heart, the brain, the lungs. As a result, less blood and oxygen may reach the eyes and ears, leading to more rapid vision and hearing decline. But it's not just about aging. In some cases, sudden or noticeable changes in vision or hearing may signal that the body is entering its final stages. These senses are deeply tied to independence and connection, and when they begin to fade quickly, it often correlates with a broader shift in the body's energy systems. If you found yourself reading with more difficulty or struggling to hear clearly even in quiet settings, it's worth paying attention. Are words on the screen harder to make out? Do people's voices blend together? Are you withdrawing from conversations? Not because you don't care, but because it's just too exhausting to keep asking, "What did you say?" Here's what helps: switch to large print labels in books, increase lighting in dim rooms. Sit close to people when speaking and face them directly so you can watch their lips and expressions. Ask loved ones to speak slower, not louder, and keep your hearing aids and glasses clean and properly adjusted. These aren't signs of decline, they're strategies of resilience, tools that allow you to stay connected, even when the senses shift. Because connection doesn't have to fade with hearing or sight. It can take new forms: a gentle hand squeeze, a shared look, a quiet moment. Even when the world grows quieter or dimmer, connection is always possible. If this final sign spoke to you or reminded you of someone who's quietly withdrawing, consider sharing this video with them. It might be the nudge they need to feel understood. These 7 signs: emotional shifts, physical weakness, temperature sensitivity, dry skin, daily task changes, swallowing struggles, and sensory decline may quietly signal that your body is preparing for its final chapter. But here's what matters most. You are still here. You are still wise, still worthy, still capable of joy, connection, and purpose. So listen to what your body is saying, but don't let it steal your peace. Let it guide you toward comfort, toward gentleness, toward moments that truly matter. Because at this stage of life, presence is everything. Subscribe to mtwisdom for more stories that honor your age, your journey, and your voice. You are loved, and your life still holds meaning.